When we talk about cybersecurity, one of the most disruptive and dangerous forms of attack that organizations face today is the distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS. A DDoS attack occurs when attackers flood a target's servers, networks, or services with overwhelming amounts of traffic, causing them to slow down drastically or crash completely. Imagine thousands, or even millions, of fake visitors trying to access your website at the same time. The system becomes overloaded and real users can't get through. For businesses, this downtime means loss of revenue, reputational damage, and in some cases, breaches of trust with customers. Mitigating DDoS attacks isn't just about reacting after the fact, it's about being prepared, proactive, and resilient. Let's break this down step by step. The first key to DDoS mitigation is detecting abnormal traffic patterns in real time. Under normal circumstances, traffic to a website or network has a predictable flow. Some peaks during busy hours, and some drops during off hours. However, during a DDoS attack, the pattern suddenly shifts. For example, a small e-commerce site that usually receives a few thousand visitors per hour might suddenly receive millions of requests from thousands of suspicious IP addresses. Advanced monitoring tools use techniques like traffic baselining, anomaly detection, and machine learning to distinguish between legitimate traffic and malicious spikes. Without this ability to spot anomalies early, defenders are essentially blind, only discovering the attack once systems are already offline. The second crucial layer is the use of firewalls, IDS, IPS, and traffic filtering mechanisms. Firewalls act as the first line of defense, blocking suspicious or unauthorized traffic before it reaches critical systems. Intrusion detection systems, IDS, and intrusion prevention systems, IPS, go further by analyzing traffic in detail. IDS detects malicious traffic patterns and alerts administrators, while IPS can automatically block or drop harmful traffic in real time. Traffic filtering also includes rate-limiting requests, blacklisting malicious IP addresses, and using technologies like geo-blocking to stop traffic from regions where no legitimate users are expected. Together, these tools act like security guards at the gate, making sure only genuine visitors get inside while suspicious ones are stopped outside. However, traditional defenses alone are often not enough, especially when attackers have massive resources at their disposal. This is where the third layer comes in, scaling with load balancers and cloud-based defenses. Load balancers distribute incoming traffic across multiple servers instead of letting it overwhelm just one. This prevents any single server from becoming a bottleneck. In addition, many organizations partner with cloud-based DDoS protection services such as Cloudflare, Akamai, or AWS Shield. These services can absorb huge volumes of attack traffic across their global networks, filtering it before it even reaches the target organization. Essentially, the cloud provider acts like a giant shield, taking the brunt of the attack so that the organization's own infrastructure remains safe and available. The fourth critical practice is continuous monitoring and incident response planning. Detecting and blocking attacks in the moment is only one part of the puzzle. Organizations also need round-the-clock monitoring to identify smaller test attacks that hackers might launch before going all in with a massive strike. Continuous monitoring allows cybersecurity teams to keep an eye on traffic health, system performance, and potential vulnerabilities. Just as importantly, there must be a detailed incident response plan in place. When an attack begins, teams need to know who is responsible for what, how communication will flow, and what steps to take to contain the disruption. A well-prepared incident response plan can be the difference between an attack causing hours of downtime or just a few minutes of disturbance. Let's consider a real-world example. In 2016, one of the largest DDoS attacks in history targeted Dyn, a major DNS provider. Attackers used a massive botnet made of compromised Internet of Things devices, things like webcams, smart TVs, and DVRs. The attack generated traffic peaks of over 1 terabit per second, which took down major websites like Twitter, Netflix, and PayPal for hours. This incident highlighted how vulnerable organizations can be if they don't prepare for large-scale attacks, and how attackers can weaponize even simple household devices against powerful global companies. Since then, cloud-based DDoS protection and stronger incident response planning have become standard best practices for many businesses. Another important aspect of mitigation is reducing the attack surface in advance. This means making smart choices about network design. For example, using content delivery networks, CDNs, to cache content closer to users not only improves performance but also absorbs traffic surges. Deploying redundant systems across multiple data centers ensures that even if one server is overwhelmed, others can continue serving legitimate requests. By planning ahead and not relying on a single point of failure, organizations greatly reduce the impact of a potential DDoS attack. It's also essential to combine technology with people and processes. Cybersecurity teams must be trained to recognize the early signs of an attack, understand escalation procedures, and coordinate with external providers. For many organizations, partnering with an Internet Service Provider (ISP) that offers DDoS protection is an additional safety net. Regular drills, similar to fire drills, can help ensure that everyone knows their role during a crisis. After each incident, teams should review what happened, analyze what worked well, and identify areas for improvement. This cycle of learning strengthens defenses over time. Finally, while DDoS mitigation requires investment in technology, planning, and people, it should be viewed as a business priority rather than an optional extra. For e-commerce platforms, downtime can mean millions in lost revenue. For hospitals or emergency services, it could mean life or death consequences if critical systems go offline. For governments, it could mean disrupted communication during critical moments. In all these cases, the cost of prevention and mitigation is far less than the cost of prolonged downtime. To sum up, DDoS attack mitigation is a multi-layered strategy. It begins with real-time detection of abnormal traffic patterns, continues with the use of firewalls, IDS/IPS, and filtering, scales further with load balancers and cloud-based defenses, and is supported by continuous monitoring and solid incident response planning. Beyond the technical solutions, it also relies on proactive preparation, trained teams, and continuous improvement after every incident. In today's digital landscape, where attacks are growing in both size and sophistication, DDoS mitigation is not just a cybersecurity practice, it is a business survival strategy. To sum up, DDoS attack mitigation is a multi-layered strategy. It begins with real-time detection of abnormal traffic patterns, continues with the use of firewalls, IDS/IPS, and filtering, scales further with load balancers and cloud-based defenses, and is supported by continuous monitoring and solid incident response planning. Beyond the technical solutions, it also relies on proactive preparation, trained teams, and continuous improvement after every incident. In today's digital landscape, where attacks are growing in both size and sophistication, DDoS mitigation is not just a cybersecurity practice, it is a business survival strategy.